Man, I'm just in my reaction bag right now. And I know I said I wasn't going to do it for a while, but I guess with me kind of showing my face anyway. And um, it's just kind of time because I've have a slew of videos I want to react to that kind of pique my interest. And no, I'm just going to get back to it, I guess. But let me just get some stuff out the way. Hopefully, you guys watched the Can Goku defeat an invasion of Viltrumites that I did with my friend Lonnie. It was interesting. Obviously, Lonnie and I disagreed in that video, but I have a slew, and I'm just gonna try and sprinkle these in between there. So, obviously, I wanted to react to this one because it's just been popping up in my mind, and it's about Keith Lee and Basque and I guess black-owned businesses. I don't know a lot about Keith Lee. I know that he's a man that he's really big on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok like personal one. I do sometimes just kind of check out what's going on the BSS TikTok that obviously the podcast that I'm a part of with the rest of the gang. But I'm not a big TikTok person. I've never hid that from anything. I just don't see the point of it, even though right now it's the technically the only social media that I probably will have by the end of the year. And it's December just started. So, it's going to be very interesting, especially as I've gotten older that I've deleted that and TikTok's only the one thing legitimately the only reason I'm using because it's not my job, but it's my job, if that makes any sense. So looking at Keith Lee and black owned businesses, it's probably gonna sound bad. I've never put this much thought into it, if that makes any sense, in terms of Keith Lee himself. I'm in terms of black owned businesses himself, like I just go to a place where if I need a service or food or anything like that, I just go to the place that I want to go to. I never freaking thought about it. So obviously um I saw the video. I guess hopefully I can learn a lot about Keith Lee here and what he does and why he's so big and why even somebody like me who's not really in the um social media space hears about him a lot. And black owned businesses, like I'm in a weird way when it comes to kind of like going out and doing things. I'm a very loyal person, like every black dude knows. It's not even probably any black dude, probably almost any man. um I am very loyal to my barber, very loyal. Like the best barber I've ever had, he still lives in Kansas, and every time I'm in Kansas, I go see him. Whether even if I'm just getting an edge up or I'm getting a cut, I always go see him. Don't trust anybody else. Have I tried to look for someone ever since I moved back to California? Yes, but the results, at least, like let me tell you, like the last time I went to go see a barber, no, highly recommended. The ratings were kind of nice, and clearly it was a black barbershop because I just have this thing that only, I'm not gonna say black people, but like minorities know how to cut minority hair, if that makes any sense. I'm not trying to like insult anybody. And I remember walking in there, the place was kind of nice. And then the barber that I was the barber that I wanted to see, he was cutting somebody up, and he was like, I want to say like the kid was like 15 or 16, and I just looked at him and I knew it was bad. The barber knew it was bad. The kid knew it was bad, but the kid's dad wasn't paying attention till he looked up and he knew it was bad. And I looked at the barber, he looked at me. It was kind of like, we just kind of see him, and I just turned right around and I left. I had a reservation and everything. I just turned around and left. So like I just never cheat on my barber. It's the same thing. Like, I go to my favorite restaurants. I'm not really adventurous a lot, unless it's with sushi. I'm always kind of adventurous with sushi. But if I have a good restaurant, and I like what they do, why would I go anywhere else? That's just kind of how I live my life. If I go, it's a place where I get my car serviced. I go there. I guess in a weird way, I've never been that adventurous. But as I'm becoming older, my maiden voyage into my 30s is fully, it's fully underway. So I just trying to learn more about the world. And I never heard of this creator before, but she's clearly very successful. Her name is Amanda. Is like Amanda Amari. Is it Amanda? Is it Amanda Mary Anna? She has 250,000 subscribers. I have seen her videos being recommended to me before. Like when I made the Vilma video, like you see this video right here, Mindy Kaling's obsession with white dudes, that was highly recommended to me I just never had a chance to watch it, and also I had enough Mindy Kaling with just me doing that Velma video that I was like, I'm all right. I don't need to see anymore. But let's see what this is. It doesn't hurt to learn more about what's going on in Black culture and Black businesses because in a weird way I'm also a big like mom and pop person. So I'm always willing to go support a mom and pop more than a big chain. So let's check this out. And got basically about 23 minutes, 24 minutes. Let's learn. Let's see what's going on.
On October 30th, 2023, a force of unprecedented magnitude hit Atlanta, Georgia. A hurricane, an earthquake, a bolt of lightning. No, it was TikTok's favorite food reviewer, Keith Lee.
Fresh off the plane, ATL, the first place we went to is Atlanta Breakfast Club. I got it. Let's try it and rate it 1 through 10.
Keith Lee is a food reviewer known for his no-frills critiques. He mostly orders his food to go or has his family order for him to prevent special treatment. People were excited when he announced he'd be visiting Atlanta on the next stop of his food tour, but that excitement was quickly tempered after Keith Lee's first dining experience in Atlanta was plagued with a peculiar set of rules.
So let me stop right here real quick. Okay, I don't have a lot of experience with Atlanta. Obviously, people call Atlanta like maybe the black capital of the world. A lot of rappers from there, things like that. By the way, that YSL trial is crazy. By the way, I've been trying to keep up with that. But the most experience I've ever had in Atlanta is like I'm just in the airport on a connecting flight somewhere. That's the most experience I've ever had with Atlanta. In fact, actually, I think the last time I was in Atlanta, I was coming back from Kenya. And I mean, it was cool. I mean, isn't Atlanta like the most busy? It's like one of the busiest, if not the busiest airport on the planet. I think Atlanta does. So I don't have a lot of experience with Atlanta. From everything that I've heard about the city, I mean, I've seen those YouTube shorts where like the kids pull up and they're like trying to sell you water or something. Like what was that Little Boosie short where like he's just kind of sitting in his car and the kids are like surrounding his car trying to get money from him, and he looks so frustrated. He's like, I already gave y'all money. He looks so frustrated. It was crazy. But I know I just don't have a lot of it's not a place that, because eventually I do see myself leaving California at some point. It's not a place I'm really, really willing to move to. Maybe I'll visit one day, but even when I visit, like at least maybe for me, I've not seen a lot of things that make me even want to visit because I'm a guy just usually on like a weekend if I just have like free time or something, I'll just take a trip somewhere, just little, I got some miles, take a trip, spend the weekend there. Like when I say spend the week, I'll leave like Friday night, come back like Sunday afternoon, and just like some it's gonna sound crazy, like something light, but obviously if you plan out correctly, you can have a good time on a budget and still get to see new things. So I just don't have a lot of experience with Atlanta. It's never really interested me per se, but eventually I think at some point I'm gonna go there. It's Atlanta. Who doesn't want to kind of see what's going on over there? And obviously you got to be safe and all that, but it's Atlanta. And so quick question about Keith Lee. Does he just like talk that monotone way when he does his reviews? I've never seen this is like technically this is the first video I've ever seen of this man. Like I know about him, I know what he looks like, but I've never seen a video of his. So does he just talk like in this monotone way the whole time? I do respect the fact that he goes out of his way not to show special treatment because those allegations can come quick, fast, in a hurry, no matter who you are, especially when you're doing reviews. But yeah, let's see what you got going on.
Customer service was interesting. While the people were nice, the rules they had set were very unique to me. We initially tried to do takeout, but when we came in, they said we couldn't sit down, and there was no space at the bar for us to stand. So we had to stand outside and order our food. And then we decided we just gonna dine in. But 2 people in our party stepped out for a second.
Wait. So the place was packed, or they just couldn't sit down? Ooh, I'm confused. So the place was packed, right? Hold on, let's go back. Let's go back like 10 seconds.
Because again, we fresh outside to order our food. And then we came in, they said we couldn't sit down, and there was no space at the bar for us to stand. So we had to stand outside to order our food. And then we decided we just gonna dine in. But 2 people in our party stepped out for a second. Because again, we fresh off the plane, so everybody was trying to get situated. The waitress, again, she was nice, but she told us she couldn't take any orders or she couldn't do anything until everybody sat down. No water, no coffee, no drink orders, no nothing. She also said they can only do 1 order and there's no add-ons.
Why are they making it so hard for people to order food? Like I come to your restaurant. I'm clearly prepared to spend my money here for what you're offering. Why are they making it so hard? So was the restaurant? So the restaurant was packed, so they couldn't sit down, so they had to wait for, I take it, a table to open up, right? Which is, it happens, especially at popular restaurants. If they're busy, they're busy. But at the same time, um, if you can't even give them water, like I can't order like some water. You're making us stand outside, and I can't order like a water. Like there's a mom and pop kind of breakfast place kind of by me. I forget the name right now, but I love their breakfast burritos, and it's not something that it's not something like, it's not like a hole in the wall. Like a lot of people go there where I live, and they always, especially on hot days, I love the fact like they just have somebody come out. Usually there are a lot of high school people that work there. They come out and they're like, "Hey, anybody thirsty? Anybody want to order drinks or anything like that?" That seems like a really common, at least for me. That isn't that some kind of common, like even when you go to McDonald's, while you're waiting for your food, they like, "You want a drink?" So that's crazy. And then you can't do add-ons. What if we want dessert? We just didn't decide on dessert before, but we want dessert now. Why they make it doesn't make sense to make it so hard to eat there. Why are they making it so hard to eat there? That's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
Plus, Keith Lee persisted
So I
in the
like her
typical
hair.
fashion of his takeout food reviews, commenting on the texture, flavor, and seasoning of each dish with his signature level-headed sincerity.
It eat jelly for sure. It's buttery. It's salty. It's a good biscuit. I just can't swallow it. It's dry.
Despite being nearly suffocated by a dry biscuit, Lee remained gracious as always, but there was a hint of uncertainty in his sign-off.
For the first stop in Atlanta, I'm very interested to see what the rest of this trip holds. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe.
He seemed to sense that his experience wasn't a bug, but a feature in the Atlanta restaurant scene. And he wasn't wrong. It wasn't the quality of the food, but the quality of the customer service that became the prevailing subject of Keith Lee's reviews.
Yesterday, me and my family were at the One Music Festival. Somebody who works with Candy Birds walked up to us and said they've been trying to reach us since we got to Atlanta. He said he'd been constantly emailing me and constantly DMing me for me to come to Old Lady Gang. I got it. Let's try it.
Isn't there
As you can see, I don't
one
have
of
any
the
bags.
housewives owns that, right? I know about that because my girl at the time used to watch. There's so many housewives of something shows, but one of my girl at the time watched that show. She mentioned that to me. I don't know why I remember that, but
In my hand. Me and my family are in Atlanta, and currently we are at the Real Milk and Honey. I got it. Let's try it and rate it 1 through 10. As you can see, I don't have any bags in my hand.
Atlanta, how you out here fumbling Keith Lee? Here are the 6 things your restaurant should have learned by having Keith Lee up in your city.
My city of Atlanta is on blast now that Keith Lee is here exposing these restaurants. First of all, there should not be rules to attend a regular
hold on. So this the Milk and Honey place that he mentioned earlier, brunch, bar, music, okay, house rules. We guarantee great food. Everything else is left to chance. We try our hardest, though. We really do. We do not provide individual checks. However, we will allow up to 3 forms of payment. So if I walk in there with my squad, with my boys, right? And we each want to pay separately, we can't do that. So what? Okay. 18% gratuity will be added to parties of 5 or more, or checks larger than $105. Okay. Number 4, no modifications of the top 10 brunch menu signature items. If you have a food allergy, please choose another item without the allergen. What? Okay. Number 5, be nice. But you're making it so hard for me to order food there. Number 6, no reservations unless you're Barack Obama. So you only have to be the one black president to have a reservation. Hey, there are exceptions to every rule. That's not even a good joke. Okay, number 7, no table hibernation. What does that mean? What does that mean? Hold on now. I gotta figure out. So you can't stay at the table too long? You want us like right when we finish? We gotta leave? Table hibernation. I just Googled it. I have no idea what that means. What is table hibernation? So Google's not helping, but basically you don't want them to spend time, like you want them right when they're done eating to get out. Okay. If we prepare If we prepare your selected item to our menu specifications, we will not remove that item from your bill. Our entries are not samples. Thanks. Okay. Number 9. No parties larger than 4 on days that end with a Y. What? We are a small place, and when we get large groups, we are a small place, and when we get busy, large groups are hard to accommodate. So hold on. So you don't want parties larger than 4, but you're gonna charge. Okay. So then what's the point of the third rule then? If you don't want parties larger than 4, every day ends in a Y. We have no waiting area inside. Sorry. Keep in mind, if on the wait list, you can receive a text when your table is ready. Naps in your car are fine. Remember, this is supposed to be fun. Okay. Milk and honey. Let's look at this. I'm gonna Google this right now. Sorry for this, but I am going to look this up. Milk and honey restaurant Atlanta. Okay. So 4.1 on Google. So if you want to know that. But not a bad restaurant, not a bad website. So you are a small place, right? Let's look at this. You are a small place, and you are obviously very popular. Do they have multiple locations? Do they have multiple locations? I'm just asking. Oh, yes, they do. They have 4 locations. Have they not thought about buying a bigger location? Or maybe this seems like for instance, me, if I saw these rules, I'd just walk away. Like, what's the point? Like, I just have to get lucky to freaking catch you guys at the one time you're not busy. And because I'm looking at these things, it looks like Milk and Honey does have reservations. So, but when was this video made? When was this video made? Sorry, real quick. This was 2 days ago. So unless you're lying on your website, we can't make reservations, but your website says I can make reservations. I'm so confused. Why is it this hard? Why is it this hard to? If you're gonna keep people, because I assume Atlanta gets hot, right? Yeah, you can't let us just freaking like order some water or something, or some, or some juice or something to just kind of keep us cool while we wait. I know maybe either way, I'm frustrated. I'm very frustrated right now. So let's just keep this going.
It's not even a fine dining restaurant.
Hundreds of people co-signed Keith Lee's experience. Even Cardi B said that it seems like restaurants in Atlanta don't even want to make money because of how unnecessarily difficult it is to order food.
That's what I'm thinking.
You could barely order in Atlanta restaurants. Like, you go like, hey, I would like to make an order. Oh yeah, we don't take orders. We don't take orders.
What do you mean you don't take orders?
It gets to the point that I literally have to name, like, I have to tell like people that order food from me, like, can you just name drop my name?
Many people herald.
So what do you mean you don't take orders? So you only taking in walk-ins or people in line? So you don't do DoorDash or nothing like that? So it seems like you're throwing away a revenue stream, because I'm so confused. Man. Like it seems like you're going out of your way to also not make money and also make the customer experience terrible at the same time.
Keith Lee as having exposed Atlanta's clubified restaurant culture.
$18 cocktails, 20% added gratuity, music so loud I can't even hear myself think.
I'm just trying to get some brunch. Why am I'm getting some brunch. Why I'm getting some brunch. This is very annoying. $18 cocktails, 20% gratuity. I'm just trying to get brunch. Why is the music so loud? Like, bro, we chilling. And especially if I'm getting brunch, like I'm getting brunch, I'm with people, we just want to eat and talk.
Going on.
The thing is, I think restaurants have noticed the success of these clubs and
But they
adopted some
offer
of their strategies and marketing strategies for their own restaurants.
that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Nightclubs offer a different experience than restaurants. That's what they are. You don't, okay, if there's a really successful car dealership, hospitals are not going to try to perform the same car dealership experience for hospitals. That doesn't make any sense to me. Am I tripping? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. All right. Oh, that doesn't make any sense to me. That does not make any sense to me at all. Oh my goodness.
And you notice this when you go to restaurants there and elsewhere where, there's bottle service, there's hookah being offered, there's arbitrary dress codes. There isn't an option of making reservations. So
hold on. I'm trying to eat. Why the hell is there bottle? First of all, bottle service is one of the dumbest things that man has ever created. And the fact that I'm not sitting here saying I'm innocent, I was in it too. Yeah, I that feeling of balling because I just spent $500 or $1,000 on a bottle. That's something that like the minute I walk out of that club and I go to the liquor store, I could buy for $100. It's one of the dumbest things man has ever created. I'm trying to eat my, maybe I'm having like some avocado toast, with something nice. Why the hell am I doing bottle service? Why the hell am I doing bottle service for that? Why are they offering hookah? I'm eating lunch. I'm eating brunch. I'm eating dinner. What? That's so dumb. So I guess do I not get charged as much if I don't want all those things? Like I just trying to eat my lunch. I'm just trying to eat I'm just trying to eat my food. That doesn't make any sense. I am very frustrated right now.
you've got to wait outside in line.
And while this culture is prevalent in Atlanta, it brought to the forefront many people's experiences with poor customer service, specifically Black people's less than stellar experiences at Black-owned businesses.
Well, in the middle of all the Black business discourse that's going on right now, my braider canceled on me.
My man's experience in Atlanta has really hurt my heart, and it's triggered some feelings I've had from my own experiences with Black businesses.
This conversation has been happening on the internet for a while now, specifically
clearly I've been missing
in the
out.
context of hairstylists.
You want to talk about crazy hairstylists? When I first moved to Atlanta, this girl faked a car accident so she wouldn't have to do my hair.
When I tell y'all,
you can just say no, right? You can just say no. You just say no. So was it at the end of last year, I had locks, right? And I took them out, and I'm thinking about doing twists or doing something to my hair in the future. And I've been looking for somebody. There was a lady that I did find, kind of like she was about an hour away from me, but she was like on the verge of retiring and she moved to Hawaii. So unless I'm trying to go to Hawaii, which she was a very nice lady, she graciously offered, but she's retired, unless I'm trying to go to Hawaii and get my hair done by her in Hawaii, I'm still looking for one. So I didn't realize, at least in Atlanta, apparently, that hairstylists are like that. They can be that exclusive or that bad at customer service. Just if you didn't want to do her hair, just say no.
look at my head right now. Look at my head. Like, I cannot make this shit up.
So I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story time when an Atlanta hairdresser boyfriend chased me at the house with a butcher knife.
I feel like
What? A butcher? What do you mean a butcher knife? Like, you getting your hair done? Like, what?
seen it all at this point, from hot takes to horror stories about customer service at Black-owned businesses. I do want to say that on the internet, negativity and controversy is what gets the most attention, so these subpar experiences are not representative of all Black-owned businesses. Also, it goes without saying, but this discourse should not be taken as an opportunity to be racist or anti-Black. And while most Black-owned business controversy on social media is pointed to restaurants and hairstylists, these sectors are not representative of Black-owned businesses as a whole. The greatest number and share of majority Black-owned businesses are in the healthcare and social assistance sector.
Oh, how about that? How about that? Feels like a lot more people in the community should be into real estate, right? I'm not surprised by the arts, entertainment, and recreation. I'm not surprised by that. I mean, if you even just look at professional sports, how many black people own professional sports teams, or minorities even own professional sports teams? Michael Jordan gave his up, right? Magic Johnson? Is Magic Johnson the one person? Am I missing out on somebody else? Magic Johnson's the only one, I think. He owns part of the Dodgers and he owns parts of the Commanders. So I'm not surprised by that.
Fun fact. Disclaimers being said, I do think this is a topic worth examining. I myself have had experiences as a Black customer at Black businesses that resemble what I'm seeing online, and it is validating to see that people are talking about this. The Keith Lee Atlanta discourse got me thinking about the power dynamics at play when a Black customer patronizes a Black business. And this TikTok in particular is what inspired me to further explore it.
So the real Keith Lee touched down in Atlanta, and he's been exposing what we've been talking about in Atlanta for the longest time.
Where is Keith Lee from, by the way? Can somebody let me know in the
comments? Crazy house rules and horrible customer service. But nobody is talking about the crux of the issue, which is that Black people don't think other Black people deserve good customer service.
The creator goes on to explain that there are great Black-owned businesses and great Black customers all over the country. So the problem isn't necessarily with one or the other, but she believes that issues arise when those Black businesses serve Black customers. It's why Atlanta, a city whose population is nearly 50% Black, has been ground zero of this debate. But even outside of Atlanta, there is some truth to it. This creator points to your local Popeyes.
Every city has a subset of the Atlanta experience. And what is it? Popeyes. That is typically Black people serving Black people, and it gives you a microcosm of this Atlanta experience. The Popeyes employees are so quick to get belligerent, so quick to get angry, so quick to get aggressive over you basically asking them to do their jobs.
Welcome to Popeyes. How can I help you, sir?
Can I get a 3-piece with fries and mashed potatoes and with gravy on the side?
Yes, sir. Spicy.
Yes, sir. Move here. What do you want? What do you want?
And the customers can be very out of line as well. But why are the employees so quick to jump to anger? Why did they start off on the bad foot? It's because of the population they're serving. When you ask for basic things like extra sauce, they feel like you're not entitled to those things.
Okay, so I've never been to a Popeyes in my entire life. The one time I probably should have gone is when that chicken sandwich first came out, right? Because that was like lines around the block, especially where I lived in Kansas. There was a Popeyes, not kind of across the street from me, but you could see it, right? Right, especially before you really get into where I lived at the time. The kind of, was it like, it wasn't like a cul-de-sac. Either way, it doesn't matter. I always just drove past that Popeyes to go to Chick-fil-A because but Chick-fil-A was really like the only, like, would you even count Chick-fil-A like a fried chicken place? I guess, yeah. But Chick-fil-A is like the only fried chicken place I went. I've been to KFC one time. That was when they had like the snacker. If you guys remember the snacker, I tried that once, and I remember it was just so greasy. I said, I'm good. I've never been back since. So never been to Popeyes in my life, despite I really like their commercials though, when they had the older lady, like she was like, it felt like she was like everybody's auntie or grandma or something like that. But I've never had any interest in Popeyes. But ironically, if they're like, since they're talking about the discourse of I guess how the kind of relationship between customers and the employees. In Kansas City, there's a place called Gates Barbecue. Like when you walk in there, it's like you need to be on your P's and Q's. Like you need to figure out exactly what you want, and they don't got time for you. And like you're getting screamed at. Like, oh, welcome to Gates. What do you want? And you're like, like anybody who lives in Kansas City will tell you this is not just a me thing. It's like, and the craziest part is I've met the people who own Gates, with my prior job. Like I've seen them, I've talked to them, I've had conversations with them. And I'm not sitting here saying like we're cool or anything like that. It was just like a one-time thing. I happened to sit down and talk to him, and it was like that. And Gates is not a black-owned business. At least when the people that I met, but this was like 5 years ago or something like that. No, I'm tripping. It is a black-owned business. It is a black-owned business. Let me make sure, because now I'm just gonna owners. Sorry, I just got to figure this out now. Like at least the people that I met were white. So yeah. So Gates, like you walk in, like, welcome to Gates, how can I help you? And you're staring at the menu, and they're like, come on, we don't got time for you. And like they got a note. I remember every time I went to Gates, man, like you got it. Like I'd be looking up. I've been to Gates enough times that you should kind of know what you want. But every time I drove into Gates, I would like look at the menu on my phone to make sure that like, all right, this is exactly what I want, because I don't want them to be screaming at me. And mind you, they get the food out to you very quickly, and you're definitely getting what you pay for, like in terms of like the flavor, the food. Kansas City's known, people in Kansas City take pride in their barbecue too. So, but Gates is just one of those. I'm like, bruh, like I'm here to buy food. Why you treat me like I did something wrong? So it was always that way. So I guess maybe that's kind of something I could kind of compare to it. But no, I've never been inside of Popeyes, so I don't know.
They don't have to be kind. They don't have to be nice. Now, the reason this stays contained is because most times we don't own the franchise. We're just working at the franchise. So there's only so belligerent, so extra the employee is going to get. But Atlanta is proof positive of what happens when that Popeyes attitude gets taken to the very top of the food chain.
She goes on to explain that the Popeyes effect is only exacerbated when Black people are the ones who actually own the business, because some Black business owners believe the worst of their Black customers before they even show up. It's why Atlanta restaurants have, in the words of Keith Lee, interesting rules, like no adding anything to your order. The creator acknowledges that some of these customer service issues, like
why is that such a problem?
And lack of online ordering options, may stem from a scrappy small business's budget, but she says it extends beyond mom and pop restaurants and into some well-known and financed establishments in Atlanta. Old Lady Gang, for example, is a restaurant owned by Real Housewife Kandi Burruss, and Keith Lee didn't eat there because of the absurd wait time.
I think a lot of these Black business owners in Atlanta particularly go in with the idea that they're going to cut corners because they are serving a pop.
Hold on. Spurred on by a lawsuit last summer and a recently failed health inspection, soul legend Gladys Knight is finally out of the fried chicken business. Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles, which debuted in 1997, has been officially renamed World Famous Chicken and Waffles in August 2016. Knight sued her son Shanga Hankerson, who founded the restaurants, in order to have her name and likeness removed from the mini chain after it ran into legal troubles in June of this year. Oh, damn. Apparently, it seems like they're just making it really hard for people to eat there for a reason. Whether or not it's cutting corners, or you don't trust Black people, or like something that's something like to just not even allow add-ons. Like that seems like just something that's just kind of basic, right? Like to use McDonald's again, right? If I go order a Big Mac, right? And then I want, give me a medium Big Mac. But then if I want a McChicken, because my girl's at the crib and she's like, oh, give me something. I don't want nothing big. So let me get you a McChicken, a small fry. You can just do that. Why would you like take that? That's like a fundamental part of. Am I wrong for that? Is that not a fundamental part of, like ordering food? You can add on to your order.
Population that doesn't deserve the best. We really need to unpack our internalized racism on this stuff.
This TikTok really resonated with me and put into words something I felt but wasn't able to articulate. Being treated poorly as a Black customer in a Black business still feels anti Black. But getting even standard customer service is not something that Black people in America have had a long history with. White owned businesses have been treating Black customers poorly long before and after the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and I think this has impacted the behavior of Black customers. For example, the fact that Black people on average tip less. When waiters expect skimpy gratuities, they resist serving Black customers or they provide a poorer service, which discourages Black people from patronizing table service restaurants. There's also the economic disparity. Black people on average have always had much less income and wealth than whites, so tipping standards that seem commonplace to people who have the money to dine out at nice restaurants may be novel to others. In one study, 35.9% of African Americans identified the 15 to 20% tipping range as the norm versus 72.4% of whites. Because of this gratuity gap, I think it's very possible that even Black-owned businesses expect the worst of.
All right, hold on. So let's back it up to that thing. All right. So just a quick question. How do y'all like calculate tipping? Because I don't. I'm in the don't know category. So for instance, if I roll up, there's this place in Kansas I used to go to all the time called Dagwood's. It's a diner, nice small mom and pop. I think it's been there since like the 60s, right? And it's kind of it's like the one thing that reminds you of like the 60s when everything around it's like becoming newer and more modern. I love Dagwood's. If I ever back in Kansas City, I'll go there for breakfast. I love their food. And I used to be, you go there enough, you start, knowing people, meeting people, and I love their food. Breakfast burrito also underrated. But my typical order would be about $20, right? I think it's like 20, like 96 something. I just give them like 25 and I tell them that that's the tip. Or if I go a little bit more, I'm like, you know what? I just give them like if I was like 22, just give them the $8 and it's $30, I never, I don't know what's the right way to say it. I never cared about tipping in the way you guys think. I never cared about it. Like I would always just kind of go to the next dollar amount. Obviously, if it's like the total is $39, I'm not going to go to 40, but I will go to like 45. Like, cause I remember somebody told me like, here's how you calculate how much you should tip. I was like, that's I don't like that. I also like, kind of like my food being like a nice round number, like 45 or 50. I never liked 1787. That never made any sense to me. So, maybe I've just been over tipping or under tipping for a long time because, this is kind of how I live my life. Maybe I'm just weird.
Gratuity gap, I think it's very possible that even Black-owned businesses expect the worst of their customers, leading to poor service and then poor tips, and the cycle continues. This has always been a taboo topic, so I think the current discourse we're seeing about service as a Black customer, specifically at Black businesses, is endlessly interesting, and that's what I want to explore in today's video.
I like the music
First,
she's
let's
chosen for her
elaborate on the
video.
Popeyes effect. Popeyes, a fast fried chicken chain, is notorious for its bad customer service. Most fast food chains aren't known for the quality of their service. McDonald's is known for its perpetually broken ice cream machine.
They never
Dunkin'
fix
is
it.
known for making the same drink 10 different ways.
I've never been to
Chick-fil-A
Dunkin'.
is known for being closed when you need it most. But Popeyes, more than most of its peers,
Y'all know that heartbreak feeling when you're hungry on a Sunday and you just forget, even though you've done it so many times before, and you're driving to like look for something and you see Chick-fil-A and you're like, yes. And like that one there was always Chick-fil-A by my house. I was kind of busy. So like there's nobody in line and you're pulling into the parking lot and you're like, no, it's Sunday. And the heartbreak on my face. I'd always get a spicy chicken deluxe with the large fry and Chick-fil-A sauce, as much Chick-fil-A sauce as I could basically get, and a lemonade, because I would drive pretty far for some Chick-fil-A lemonade. I think it's fantastic. And oh God, those heartbreaks, man. Those heartbreaks are fucking sorry, wasn't trying to cuss, but those heartbreaks are freaking crucial, man. But yeah, that's crazy. I've just never been inside of Popeyes, and more I think about it. And It's just never interested me. It was never even about their bad reputation, apparently, for bad customer service. I just never cared. But let's.
Chick-fil-A is known for being closed when you need it most, but Popeyes, more than most of its peers,
Lawsuits filed
seems to
against
be
Popeyes after
associated with
violent
chronically
attack.
bad service. It's also a restaurant that has traditionally served urban markets, aka most of its customers are Black. Fast food is typically taken to go or ordered through a drive-through window. I didn't need to tell you that. This format tends to cultivate an employee to customer relationship that is focused on completing the transaction as soon as possible because that's the point of fast food. Of course, low wages and high turnover plays a huge role in the service or lack thereof at all fast food restaurants, but Popeyes still manages to be infamous for its bad service. And as the TikTok I referenced earlier theorized, it could be because Black employees don't believe that Black customers are entitled to niceness or even an extra sauce. There's no way to prove that this is empirically true, but someone should do a study on it. In the meantime, there is no shortage of anecdotes about terrible.
And this is on the Popeyes actual subreddit. No matter the time or location, I've never had a trip to Popeyes go smoothly. They're out of something I wanted because the truck didn't show up. The lobby is locked every time. They're short-staffed 24/7. They can't take credit cards because the server is down. But don't tell you until you've ordered and pulled up to the window. It takes 15 minutes per car in the drive-thru. It's always something, and it's frustrating because Popeyes is easily the best tasting fast food out there. I don't know, never had it, but I'll take your word for it. I just don't understand how a company that has so many locations in so many places can be okay with their service being so awful. I've heard people chalk it up to minimum wage pay, but no other fast food joint has problems every single time I've been. Does anyone have any other ideas here? That's crazy. Like she broke it down, you know? Like for instance, like McDonald's, there's fucking sorry for cussing, their milkshake machine's always down. Chick-fil-A's closed on Sundays. Burger King, it's like nobody's ever at Burger King. And also, who the hell eats at Long John Silver's? I didn't know who you are for real. I didn't know who you are. This is something that's bothered me since I've been in college because I went to college in Kansas, and there was a Long John Silver's kind of by where some of my teammates lived, like across the street from their apartment complex. And every time I drove by there was never a line. Never a line once. I never saw anybody in the drive-thru, but there were always somebody in the store. But it was never like it was packed. Like, you know, when you drive by, because I remember there was a Panda Express in the same kind of strip mall area. So I'd always go to the Panda Express, and I'd always be walking by the Long John Silver's. I'm like, there's just one dude in line all the time. I'm like, bruh, who eats there? Like, who eats there? What? I'll go to Popeyes before Long John Silver's. Like, nothing about Long John Silver's interests me, but I've always been like, who eats there for real? Who eats there? And why do you eat there? Like, why? That's like people who order Filet-O-Fish at McDonald's. You ever seen those people? Like, you ever actually seen somebody order that? Like, it's weird. Like, it's weird, right? It's weird. Ugh.
Popeyes experiences. I think it also has something to do with where Popeyes are located. Popeyes can be frequently found in food swamps, areas within food deserts where grocery stores and healthy options are sparse and fast food is abundant. And this constricted, unhealthy food market isn't an accident, but a direct result of racial segregation. In food swamps, sit-down restaurants are hard to come by. It's mostly drive-through to-go eateries. If these employees have primarily lived and worked in a place where fast food is all that's available, maybe less than patient service is normalized. As Popeyes has expanded, it started to reach out of its traditionally Black niche and appeal to a wider audience of customers. So I would be interested to see if the quality of service changes as the race of its employees and customers does. At the end of the day, the Popeyes effect
That would be very
persists
interesting to
because
see.
of poor management from the top down and lack of vetting and training employees. But Popeyes knows who their customer base is, and maybe they haven't prioritized good service for that reason. On the other hand, when I think of a fast restaurant that has primarily Black employees and primarily non-Black customers, Sweetgreen comes to mind. Founded in 2007 by 3 Georgetown students, Sweetgreen was created to fill the gap in the market for fast, fresh, and healthy food. If you've never been to one, think Chipotle, except they only make salads and don't sell soda, unless it's like artisanal kombucha. Sweetgreen is also infamous.
Really? Really, Sweetgreen? Okay, let's look that up. I've never heard of Sweetgreen before. But they make salads, like, so they don't serve. What about protein? I'm on their site right now. What about protein? Okay, see some grains. Yo, shout out to them. How much is their stuff? Do you even have locations in California? I'm looking at their menu, but they don't have any. These look good. I'm not gonna hold you. These look very good. The Southwest chicken fajita looks fantastic. Ooh, look at that miso glazed salmon. Sorry, I'm salivating right now. I love salmon. I'll go out of my way to eat salmon. Wow. Okay. Now I'm gonna just Google. Is there a Sweetgreen Oh, there's one really closer than I thought. Maybe I'll go by. Maybe I'll go by one day. Maybe I'll go by. Well, how about that? Just learning some new stuff every day. Shout out to Amanda, Anna,
For being located
Amanda,
in
Mariana.
exclusively white, affluent neighborhoods. At the end of 2018, 95% of Sweetgreen's 89 nationwide locations were located in predominantly white zip codes with an average income of about $97,000. I couldn't find race-based employee statistics, but if you have been to a Sweetgreen, at least in New York, it's hard not to notice that most of the employees are people of color and overwhelmingly Black, while the customer base.
Hold on. A faux Sweetgreen storefront in Chinatown probes the racial dynamics of labor. Alexander Tsai Sweetgreen installation at China's Town Soup, a near replica of one of the popular salad chains franchise, explored the experience of blue-collar service workers and their place in an ecosystem of race-based capitalism. Okay.
Of Sweetgreen is primarily
Y'all know I live in California, and looking at Sweetgreen, most of the places are in LA. One's pretty close to me. Gotta check these out one day. But how about that? Just learning something new.
white collar white people, and you don't hear them complaining about the service. Popeyes and Sweetgreen are 2 very different businesses, so it's not a perfect comparison. But the point I want to make is that there are very different power dynamics between Black employees serving primarily white customers and Black employees serving primarily Black customers. I don't think this is consciously on the forefront of people's minds when they are working at or patronizing a business, but what's at stake, the customer's experience and satisfaction, seems to be of much more importance when a Black employee serves non-Black people versus when a Black employee serves Black people. I'm not saying that you'll automatically get different or worse service if you as a Black customer are being served by a Black employee. In fact, I have been served probably exclusively by Black employees at places like Sweetgreen or the Apple Store, and I've had great experiences. But I do think there is a shift in the dynamic when the employee and customer base are primarily Black. In Black American culture, there is a sense of familiarity that at times is really nice, and it's very effective at cultivating community. If you share no blood relation, you are someone's auntie or brother or sister. Even if they are a complete stranger, it's a normal way to greet someone. However, I think that same familiarity can blur boundaries when it comes to professionalism and providing a service. Just because we're brothers and sisters doesn't mean it's okay for a hair appointment to start an hour late. And that's what I want to talk about next, the other main sector outside of Popeyes where Black people are serving Black customers. Hair. I found an interesting article from the New York Times written in 2001 about the influx of African braiders in Harlem. I think it was just a really cool article to find because the hair braiding market isn't something that is widely reported on, especially in a mainstream outlet like the Times. So this is what it says. 2 decades ago, a Black American looking to get her hair braided into a head of plaits thinner than a knitting needle could spend $100. It could, after all, take up to 12 hours to get the job done. But African immigrants arriving in New York began to undercut the prices charged by African American salon owners. The same slender braids can now be had for as little as $125, a lot less than a generation ago when adjusted for inflation. As more African Americans opened braiding salons, today there are roughly 130 in the city's telephone directories. Some African Americans had to expand into other hair services like colors, cuts, and curls. Others went out of business. But as the waves of immigration continued, it seemed that too many Africans had the same idea, opening shops faster than it takes to get from Nigeria to New York. Francine Toku, an African American who owns Afrogenics, an Upper West Side salon, started off just doing braids, but she has expanded into services like chemical hair straightening and weaves because of competition from Africans. Now, only 40% of her clients ask for braids, which cost $125 for simple cornrows to $2,500 for dreadlock extension. Some people are willing to pay her prices, Ms. Tuku said, because they are concerned about sanitation and braiding practices in many African-owned shops. And some of her customers, Ms. Tuku said, complain that braiders at the African salons have used dirty combs or braid too tightly, end quote. I feel like even today, this is still one of the primary complaints people have about African braiding shops. They will take your edges. Too tight braids have caused many women, myself included, to avoid box braids from African braiders, but in recent years, a new style of braids have entered the market, knotless braids. Knotless braids look very similar to box braids, except they lay flatter on the head, and one of the biggest selling points is that they feel much lighter and put much less tension on your scalp. It's hard to say who exactly invented knotless braids, but they originated out of an interest to better protect natural hair and blew up on social media. I think this is what helped jumpstart the businesses of so-called IG hair braiders, younger tech-savvy entrepreneurs who are equally versed in ring lighting as hair braiding. They have been a welcome addition to the hair braiding scene. They are more digitally accessible than traditional African hair braiders because they have websites and Instagram pages where you can message them for information on services and see their previous work. They have clear price lists and online booking where you can secure appointments months in advance, unlike walk-in braiding shops where wait times can vary. Some of them are scrappy and braid out of their homes or will even come to yours. While these features have made hair braiding more accessible and convenient for many, the IG hair braider experience is not without its drawbacks. Several people have taken to social media to complain about the stylist's lack of communication, last-minute cancellations, and lengthy rule lists. It seems like IG hairstylist horror stories have become a small but mighty niche on social media.
So guys, I had a silk press yesterday. This is not giving me silk vibes, it's giving me polyester with a dash of cotton.
Cousin, come look at this bullshit, because these stylists have lost their mind. I seen this on Twitter. Read this. Pause.
Hold up. Let me go ahead. Let me see what she about to say.
Stylists have lost their mind. I seen this.
Okay, y'all need to read my policy before y'all book, because as of this week, I'm kicking people out of my salon if you don't follow directions with your deposit. I am also recommending my friend who does blowouts located in Silver Spring. $35 wash, blow, straighten per her price will be $55 starting in May. If you come to your appointment and your hair is not blow dried straight, you're canceled. If the blow dryer doesn't have your hair straight, flat iron it. This is probably where I'm probably the wrong person because obviously I have no idea what's happening here. No idea at all. So I'm probably the wrong person for this.
I want you to read this. Pause.
I'm suing this hairstylist for my deposit back after she overslept during my appointment time.
These accounts resemble Keith Lee's struggle to order food in Atlanta. Of course, these experiences are not representative of all IG braiders, but sometimes you have to wonder if the Popeyes effect is at play. The braiders are primarily Black Americans as other customers, so does this impact the level of customer service and professionalism they think that they're entitled to? I feel like there's been a small resurgence of people going from the new age IG braiders back to traditional African braiding shops because they're tired of the higher prices, rules, and sometimes lack of professionalism.
Me and my best friend decided to go back to the Africans to get her hair done, and honestly, 10 out of 10.
Okay, story time. So yesterday my braid appointment got canceled, right? So what do? I look up the motherfucking Africans.
Now, I don't think people's positive experiences at African braiding shops necessarily disproves the Popeyes hypothesis. In comparison, at African braiding shops, as the name suggests, the braiders are West African immigrants, while the customers are primarily Black Americans. In this setup, the Popeyes effect doesn't exactly apply due to the cultural and language differences. So what is the customer versus service provider power dynamic at play? In my opinion, it resembles a nail salon more than anything. Like African braiding shops, most nail salons are operated by a distinct ethnic group, Asian immigrants. Language and cultural barriers are prone to foster mutual misunderstanding between customers and providers, but the power dynamic is also similar because many immigrants' view of Black Americans has been informed through a racist, white supremacist lens, one that paints us as undeserving. The same is true of the internalized racism that fuels the Popeyes effect. Okay, so honestly, I don't really know how to wrap up this video. All of the things I'm talking about are really based on people's individual experiences. At the end of the day, there isn't a lot of data that says like why people are acting like this or if this is even a true phenomenon, the Popeyes effect, right? It's all based on people's experiences. So I kind of just want to open a conversation about that. And I would love to hear everyone's thoughts below. Since I don't really know how to end this, I figured I would just leave you with a little piece of fun entertainment of my own personal hair horror story, which is only funny to me in retrospect. But okay, one time I was getting my hair braided and I really wanted to get blue braids because I wanted to look like Coraline because Coraline is one of my favorite movies. So I found this dark blue hair color on like Amazon and I like found some braider on IG. Of course. And I booked with her and I was like, oh, can you braid my hair with this hair? I sent her the link and she was like, yeah. And I was like, how many packs do I need? Like, is this amount enough? And she was like, yeah, that's fine. And then I go there and she starts braiding my hair and she's like really complaining about the quality of the hair. She's like, oh, I can't really braid with this hair. Like it's slippery or whatever. Yeah, but you told me I could get it. So, okay. She's doing my hair, she's doing the braids, whatever. And then there's like a good, probably quarter chunk of my hair that has not been finished. And the hair has run out. And my problem is I asked her how much hair I needed and she said the amount I sent her was perfectly fine. So the hair had ran out. And I have like a whole quarter of my hair just like out. And she's like, oh, the hair ran out. Like you need to get more hair. I need to get more hair. So yeah, this lady sends me down on the streets of Flatbush in search of some hair. And I finally find a shop, and of course they do not have any hair that is the exact color that I wanted because I got this hair specifically from Amazon for a reason. So yeah, I had to buy some mismatched hair and still have her put it in, and I was really not happy about that. Yeah, that sucked. Leave your horror stories below or don't. Leave your 2 cents. I'm interested to see what you all think. And again, this is not an opportunity to bash Black people. I just kind of want to start a dialogue, start a conversation, see what people think, etc. Yeah. Okay, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
I will. Oh, by the way, I guess that's what she can do there. I will say this. as somebody who's basically getting ready to enter this market, because I had locks, but realistically, my girlfriend at the time was the one who really told me what to do. Obviously, I am not with her anymore, so I have no idea what I'm doing. Should I have taken some notes? Absolutely. I absolutely should have. My hair is nowhere. God, there was a point before I got a haircut where maybe my hair was about 3/4 as long as hers is, like right here on the left, or as it was in her video. But then I got a haircut. Realistically, it was like I couldn't really go home if I didn't get a haircut. And I just got out of college, or if I remember at the time. So like I'd like to go home, see my mom, enjoy California before, I start really entering the workforce for real. But now I haven't cut my hair in a significantly long time. Like it's been a really long time. It's been years. It's been at least half a decade. So I don't, other than just kind of letting it be natural and not doing anything with it, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I had to learn a lot through my my ex-girlfriend, where in terms of satin pillowcases, bonnets, hair wraps. Like I had to learn a lot, and I still have all this stuff. Mind you, I threw away the stuff that I use because for some reason I was like, it just didn't feel right, especially now that I'm trying to do this new thing where I'm looking for a stylist or a hairstylist to do my hair. And I'm still having to decide exactly what I'm trying to do. So I'm not trying to be out here with like dreadlocks, because in my life, I never want to look, as much as I enjoy Lil Wayne's music, I never want my hair to look like his hair. So it's just kind of trying to find what's good for me. And realistically, I think by the time I turn 40, like I'll probably just have like a fade and just live the rest of my life like that. So, it's kind of like the last hurrah, if that makes sense, for my hair, in terms of what I realistically want to do with it, especially the way that my job is. I'm very okay with how I can like wear my hair. So this was a very interesting video. I love her presentation, right? I love her cadence. She clearly did a lot of research for the video, learning a lot about Atlanta culture, and basically how Keith Lee, it's kind of crazy how it takes an outsider to kind of show you what's been wrong with your city this whole time and make it something that should be still continually talked about and addressed. Because if I'm being 100% honest, listening to that first part of that video about Keith Lee made me realize that I don't think, if I was ever going to go to Atlanta, to just kind of go to Atlanta for like a weekend, I can wait. I can wait. Made me basically delay it even longer. I want to go to New Orleans because I've never been to New Orleans. I want to go one time. I kind of want to see Mardi Gras, right? I love going to Denver. I haven't been to Denver in a while. I've never been to Seattle, so I want to go there. There are a few places I just want to go. Like I live in California. I've never been to San Francisco. So I'm going to do that one day. So this was a lot of interesting information. Popeyes, never been to Popeyes, but just kind of seeing that. And it is kind of crazy that Black-owned businesses treat Black people worse than they do others, especially if that's how you especially if you're playing on the stereotypes that our community was kind of taught, via racism. If you still kind of walk along those lines, so it's kind of tough. But it was a very interesting conversation. I loved her video. Like I said, I love her presentation. I love the way she talked. Stay natural, by the way. I love natural, but I don't know, I'm a guy, so take my words how you want to take them. But thank you so much it was very interesting. Makes me kind of like disheartened in terms of looking for a stylist, because I want to find one that's the only one that I go to, because I'm going to treat that stylist like my barber in Kansas. Salute to you, Joey. Salute to you, because that man's the only man out probably until I die is the only man I'm ever gonna let cut my hair, for real. So like, if that means I gotta find a way to go to Kansas and get an edge up, gotta go to Kansas, get an edge up. There is somebody here that I kind of trusted before I met Joey, but that man's a lot older now. He's kind of chilling. So there you go. So either way, that was a very interesting video, and I've probably said that like 3 times. What did you guys think about the video and Black-owned businesses discourse and Keith Lee? Apparently, I didn't realize he was like that. The only Keith Lee I knew was the one that was a wrestler. So that was a lot of fun. I'm back in the reaction game, I guess. Probably eventually I'll probably just end up watching that Mindy Kaling video, because the fact that she got season 2 of Velma is crazy. and it's gonna be bad. And I'm probably gonna have to do another watch the trailer and then ask questions again, because that's one of my more popular videos when I was realistically like the problem. I'm just frustrated. Anyway, guys, how long have I been going? This was a 23-minute video. I've been talking for an hour. So yeah, I don't do reaction content well because I end up just kind of going in my own world. But thank you so much, Amanda Mariana. I'm probably going to look into more of your videos in the future, especially if they kind of match the vibe that you have with these videos. So thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.